What's up, Disney Infiniteers? Welcome to today's video where we check out all the 2023 Halloween community creations for Disney Infinity. I am back with a new computer and ready to share new videos with all of you. Today, we are recapping the 2023 Disney Infinity Halloween event, where creators came together to bring us brand new spooky Infinity toy boxes and much more. So, grab a snack and let's recap what was made. First up, Cool James hopped into Disney Infinity 2.0 to create his own SpiderMan City. Throughout this massive toy box, Cool James created stunning 8-bit pixel art of various Spider-Man characters sprinkled throughout this level, and they look absolutely incredible. He also has areas to battle enemies, all wrapped up in Spider-Man aesthetics. I love this, and it's even more impressive that everything here was created in the 2.0 edition of the game. Super sick. That brown bat has been busy creating an absolutely jaw-dropping toy box inspired by the classic game Castlevania. Brown Bat mentioned in this toy box that it has been years in the making, and a toy box that he's planned since literally 2.0. Right off the bat, no pun intended, he zooms out and shows off the massive scale of just how insanely large this toy box actually is. My jaw was on the floor seeing how much it resembled the classic game. This toy box features some cool mods too. Look how he flawlessly captured the look of the castle with the stone walls, spiraling staircases, and lights. Throughout his playthrough, he shows off the immense environmental creativity he utilized to resemble the original game and its various areas. Now, one cool thing about this toy box, even though it's played from a 2D perspective, you will not be limited to just moving horizontally, which was a really amazing feature to see in action. Brown Bat mentions there are about 6 or 7 bosses to destroy in order to unlock Dracula's keep. From beginning to end, I couldn't help but feel absolutely stunned by the attention to detail he showed off in this toy box. The outdoor areas look just as great as the interior ones, and his bosses were done pretty well too. Now, there is just so much to this toy box, I don't even have enough time to break it all down, but as he traversed through his nearly 31-minute showcase, he eventually made his way to Dracula himself. This toy box is a testament to Brown Bat's creativity and imagination. Even though he says he'll continue working on this masterpiece, despite it having some bugs, I couldn't help but watch in awe for his entire playthrough video. Truly a mind-blowing toy box, which reminds me of just how special this Infinity community is. How lucky are we? Clinton created a toy box called The Curse in Time Part 2. Donald has reached Time's castle. The aesthetics are really cool right off the bat as Donald continues to explore the castle. The objective here is to open up 4 doors, with mysteries behind each. Donald will also have to fight his way through all the obstacles in his way at each door before entering the next. Now, each door is completely random and will change with every playthrough. When you get one completed, Donald will head back to the central room and step on a button where, in a cool twist, the path will rotate like a giant clock and allow Donald to pass. I absolutely loved this feature. In the next segment, Donald will enter a 2D area where Donald battles all kinds of enemies throughout the corridors of the castle, and he'll eventually ascend, hitting a button to unlock a key to enter the next area. In the next area, Clinton creates a very clever platforming section where you must compete against enemies to hit 4 buttons within the time limit. Watch your step, however, as one slip will make you fall into the lava below. Complete this challenge and you will gain another key. Carry it to the main clock room, step on the button, and watch the dial turn to create a new path forward where you can use the key and advance. In the final room, you will face off against Time himself, where he has been using the chronosphere to manipulate time in the kingdom. It's up to you to stop him and save the kingdom. Once completed, head back to the clock room and you will find that the hand has gone wonky and you need to safely jump across the walkway as it passes by you. Make it out of the castle and you're victorious. Now, this toy box had unique aesthetics, a very creative use of time, and a clock theme that I absolutely loved. Great job, Clinton. This was a fun toy box to see in action. The The Epic Gamer Squad joined in on the event as well with this Deathmatch Arena Halloween toy box. In this toy box, there are 4 pillars in each corner of the arena. As you walk through the gates and begin battles, the sky will change into themed challenges. So in the first gate, you'll be battling Omnidroids. Through another gate, it actually changes to a Toy Story theme while battling Zergbots. When you head over to the gate with the sand, it will actually change into a Lilo and Stitch area where you can fight enemies under the tropic aesthetics. Lastly, the final gate will change to the sky of Pirates of the Caribbean, where you will take on pirates. They mention that you can fight enemies for an infinite amount of time if you choose, so it was cool to see a new take on arena battles with this toy box. Next, the legendary 72 Pringle joined in on the festivities with his new toy box, Road to Nowhere. In this, we see Jack Skellington ride along a long road from a 2D perspective. Eventually, he drives and stumbles upon a mysterious village. The first area features some booby traps and floating pumpkins. Once you collect the pumpkins, lava will come up and push you more into the town and actually trapping you there. Avoid some more obstacles and you'll move on to the next part of the level. Here, you'll collect more pumpkins as you avoid disappearing floorboards and obstacles coming your way, making you dip, dive, duck, and dodge all of it to stay alive. Collect even more pumpkins and the level gets more complicated with obstacles like spinning moving spikes and just more obstacles heading your way faster. I mean, if that wasn't enough, even giant saws are ready to defeat you as you work on dodging everything. It's just one massive survival game. Halloween themed obstacle course that is so well thought out that it just reminds me of those scary survival gauntlet games wrapped up in Infinity's toy box through his imagination. Now, I especially love how 72 Pringle shows off how the magic works behind the scenes as he does in all his videos. He's been a huge inspiration over the years for his Infinity creations, and this one just looks super fun. But I wonder if any of us could realistically beat it without dying once. Good luck with that. Slow Turtle joins in on the fun, creating a visual toy box based around The Nightmare Before Christmas. In his toy box, you'll fight off against enemies and head down a path where you'll notice the iconic hill, tons of fountains, pumpkins, and gravestones with a unique layout. Turtle built some houses as well where the townsfolk live. Overall, Turtle took a huge area and approached it with a stylistic take on The Nightmare Before Christmas. Even when you start building your own toy boxes, it's always fun to see other people's interpretations of their favorite films. Nice toy box, Turtle. Willie created a toy box entitled Hocus Pocus: The Third Return. In this toy box, Willie created a large area showcasing the woods and layout of the town. Additionally, Willie created the Sanderson sisters' iconic home with this interior. I love the attention to detail on this one. A simple idea executed very, very well. And even though Willie said that it's not finished yet, I enjoyed seeing the start of what this toy box can become. Really cool stuff. All Night Gaming brought a special video to the event this year entitled Freaks. And in this video, it actually includes original voice acting. In its story, Jack Skellington seeks the help of his Avengers friends. Jack makes his way through Stark Tower to travel to a portal which transports him to his friends. This is where he finds help from his allies who set out to the castle. The toy box itself is spooky and atmospheric. I loved the vibes of the scenery. When Jack and his friends set out to the Wicked Castle to save his son, there's even a very cool flashback sequence with Jack and his son that was emotional and cleverly done. I love this part. Jack then continues to traverse the castle, gain keys, and make his way through all the challenges that lie ahead. Eventually, he's able to get the castle key and save his son. Now, the toy box designs were great, and I love the original story that he made, voicing a few characters and using AI on others. And at the end, there's even a tease of a future story with Maleficent appearing after Jack proclaims, quote, "I just hope I never have to deal with anything like that again." This toy box had a really cool visual style to it, and I love the blend of in-game toy box creation and editing to help tell the story. This was a very fun watch, and I'm glad he submitted it as part of this event. Papa H returned in this event with his toy box, Pier of Fear. In this toy box, Papa H built an incredibly unique neighborhood. It begins with a fun batch of trick-or-treat houses via a neighborhood and NPC. In this challenge, it essentially becomes a shooting range minigame. Pretty cool. As Jack Sparrow hops into his car, he notices a cop car enter a tunnel. Curiously, he follows him. Now at this point, I couldn't believe how realistic his city was. The detail here is absolutely incredible. Sparrow then arrives at the Pier of Fear, topped off with a giant, scary clown face entrance. I love the look of this. As our pirate friend realizes he has stumbled across the scene of a crime, it's up to us to solve who did it. Shortly after, Jack will have to deal with some flying enemies and battle a few waves of them before entering the giant clown face entrance. Eventually, you'll hit a brick wall that you'll have to shoot through. Really cool effect here. Pass through it, and Jack will have to get across some platforms to find himself inside a giant arcade room. Jack looks around and ponders which one he should start to play, eventually before stumbling across a motorbike racing game. As Captain Sparrow enters the arcade cabinet, Papa H created a very immersive race that looks incredible. Make it to the finish line and Jack will be transported back out to the arcade where you can exit out to the pier itself. Here, you will be met with a boss battle versus the Green Goblin. This pier area in particular is pretty breathtaking. I genuinely loved the look of this place. Papa H has talent with his toy box creations and he just really crushed it. So once you defeat your enemy, you now have solved the crime of whodunit. Now you'll be able to hop back in your car and head back to Shadyville. Drive alongside the scenic roads Papa H has created and you'll make it back home. The craziest thing is Papa H said he created this on his Android phone. That's insane. Amazing toy box, Papa H. Absolutely loved the sights and story in this one. Now let's talk about Professor Toybox's entry called Sleeping Hollow Speedway. This is another addition in his toy box racing series where he has created tons of new racetracks with a myriad of Disney themes. In this special Halloween edition, he has created the little town of Sleepy Hollow. This is a fun course that changes over time, and it even culminates in a confrontation with the legendary Headless Horseman. The changes in the track include nightfall, weather changes, various random events, and new obstacles that will randomly appear lap to lap. For example, from the first lap, you'll notice train tracks. As you whiz around the track in later laps, you'll actually notice the train moving and the level begins to get darker. I also love how he has splits in the road on the track design to create verticality. It's very creative. On the final lap, you'll notice lightning striking down on you in beautiful visuals. Additionally, you will see the Headless Horseman appear, who will actually fling pumpkins and other stuff at you as you race around the track. Now, this track is stunning, beautiful, and dynamic. And best of all, Professor Toybox also provides a tutorial and steps of how he built everything in his toy boxes. This one was just perfect for Halloween. And as always, Professor Toybox carries on his legacy as one of the best toy box creators in the entire community. Next up, we have a mod. Some comic nerd joined in on the fun with this new Halloween Spider-Man suit. In this suit, he created black eyes on the mask as well as a pumpkin logo on the chest. So technically, is this Pumpkin Man? Okay, bad joke, but definitely not a bad mod. He showcases Spider-Man in action against other enemies, and I really enjoyed Comic's creative take on this new suit mod. Sometimes simplicity is better, and the pumpkin on his chest is just so unique and creative that it just stands out for me. Really nice mod here. Always love seeing what you'll bring to the events for our community. That wasn't all for mods though, as Rayman Fantastic 1995 contributed with a myriad of Disney Infinity 1.0 mods too. His mods showcase included, quote, the spookiest unused playable characters in celebration of Halloween in 1.0. These mods include playable characters for an enemy jersey from Monsters Inc., the infamous Yeti Makis from the Pirates of the Caribbean, Zurg from Toy Story, Finn McMissile from the Cars series, Butch Cavendish from the Lone Ranger, Sparkman from the Infinity 1.0 intro, my personal favorite here on the list, and the Rhino Guard from Robin Hood. Pretty cool list of mods here. Jet Blast 190 returns this year with his latest toy box, The Haunting of the Haunted Mansion. In this toy box, Ancient P and his trusty fedora are ready to tread into the unknown to exorcise the evil entity and his minions from the Haunted Mansion once and for all. You'll make your way through the graveyard in the Haunted Mansion, but you can't enter just yet. It's at this point you'll be fighting against ghouls defending the haunted graveyard. Look how cool the fog and atmosphere is throughout this part. Eventually, you'll get to your haunted horse and make your way into an even larger part of the forest beyond the graveyard. Once again, the visuals on this part are just spectacular, and the amount of detail to make it seem like a haunted forest is pretty stunning. Continue to the cursed rocks, fight off waves of minions, and you'll eventually get to the mansion. Now, the mansion itself is an interior beautifully decorated to perfection. Built after the iconic ride at Disneyland, it represents each room flawlessly as you progress through the mansion itself. You'll eventually make your way to the attic to take on even more enemies and gain access to the end of the level. You will see the hitchhiking ghosts have been restored to their natural location, and Agent P has concluded this fun haunted mansion. Best of all, once you return to the mansion grounds, you'll see bright colors as the curse has been completely lifted and everything is returned to its original state. I loved how the visuals completely flip here. The bright and vibrant colors around the mansion are a perfect contrast to the spooky levels that we saw just before. Just a brilliant use of the toy box and superb storytelling here. You'll even be able to head out on your living horse this time, and you'll see that the logs are healthy, no cursed rocks, and everything is in the same position as before, just restored back to its natural beauty. I also enjoyed how it's the same toy box layout, but just a different appearance. Very dope toy box, Jet Blast. Infinite Toyboxer joined in on the event with his toy box, Manhattan City Outbreak. In this toy box, you'll begin in the Avengers Tower. I really enjoyed how he decorated this place with all kinds of Marvel goodies, including the Infinity Gauntlet, Loki's staff, the Stronghold, and much more. Now, once you leave the tower, you'll drive across the city and come across buildings on fire. This is where you'll face off against enemies in a very detailed area of New York. You'll then fight off symbiote enemies before making your way into a library which is on fire. Now, the fire effects look so good here. Face off against more symbiotes, and you'll have one more area to go save. Drive across the city again to the bridge, and during this segment, giant tentacles will come crashing down around you, so you'll have to avoid them as you progress further up. You'll make your way up to Corp Tower, where you can enter the building. This area is filled with computers and decorations, which makes it feel like an actual detailed interior. You will come across more symbiotes locked up, which of course we all know will escape, so you'll need to take down all the enemies to continue making your way up into the laboratory area. This area will feature a key you'll need to advance, so grab that key and unlock the door. Then you'll find yourself in an underground platforming area with all kinds of obstacles to help destroy you. Get crafty to get across without being hit, and you'll take on more symbiotes before facing off against Green Goblin in a boss fight. Now, this toy box had tons of attention to detail, and I loved how everything was built to feel like a truly corporate environment. I really enjoyed watching the full playthrough. Great stuff, Infinite Toyboxer. Next up, Mr. Disfinity joined in on the fun with their WandaVision Westview Trick or Treat toy box. In this toy box, based off the show WandaVision, Disfinity was able to faithfully recreate the town of Westview beautifully in this toy box. When you approach Wanda, she'll give you 5 minutes to go find Billy and Tommy to get them back to the party. Now, I also loved that Agatha, as the neighbor, was included here. Now, you can fly around the town and look for Billy, and you will also get attacked, so make sure to take them out before you continue to look for Tommy. Once you bring them both back home, you're good to go. Perhaps the coolest thing about this toy box is how faithful it is to the show. From the houses to the neighborhood look to the trees, he absolutely nailed the beautiful Westview in this toy box. Incredible job here. Gunny69 brings us a Star Wars themed toy box to the event entitled Star Wars Land of the Sand People Part 2 Halloween Adventure. In this toy box, Luke Skywalker was out exploring when he got captured by sand people. So, Luke needs to escape. The toy box starts off action-packed as waves of sand people come and attack Luke around a fire in the hills. You'll continue to fight off sand people through great canyons and cave systems. I especially love the look of these, like the spikes hanging off the roof. Very immersive touch in the looks of this toy box. As you progress, you'll even come across a Sarlacc pit in one of the areas, staying true to the Tatooine aesthetics. Eventually, Luke will make his way to his ride and you'll be able to fly back home. Now I love this area as it was very faithful to the farm that Luke grew up on. Very nice touch. Simple and fun. The Force was definitely with this one. Tony DePro joined in on the festivities too, creating a Halloween-themed toy box for this event. In the toy box, you will have to find parts to repair Luke's lightsaber. Inspired by Hoth, Luke will go out and seek these parts in an AT-AT, and after that, you'll even get a chance to take a glance at the toy box and realize that it's pretty big. But the coolest part is that Tony was able to create an underground tunnel system as shown here. I love this part of the toy box. Tony also created another Halloween toy box in which Kylo Ren has to find Rey. You'll fly around, climb huge trees, and more. It's always nice to see new toy box creators on the scene. Nice work here, Tony. Next up, the bow tie guy makes his return with a fantastic toy box entitled The Horror of Castle Dracula, which pays homage to the classic horror movies. In this toy box, bow tie guy showcases his masterful building skills with this beautiful shot of his magnificent castle. The toy box begins with Lady Dracula wandering out of the castle and making her way to check out something she noticed down in the village below. When she arrives, she notices the townspeople are simply missing. She eventually stumbles upon a Frankenstein monster who allows you to activate the annual Halloween pig race. Now during this race, Lady Dracula races across a pathed road with many pitfalls. You can even change the camera of the race, which not only gives it a wide perspective of the roads, but also showcases just how large and beautifully constructed this toy box itself is. After the race, you'll ride your horse up to the castle itself. Upon entering, you'll notice a delicately crafted interior featuring a fireplace, statues, spooky windows, dining areas, and so much more. My favorite thing about this area was this amazing chapel Bowtie Guy created. It looks so cool. There's even a part where you can cast a spell next to the fireplace to spawn a new vampire child. There's even an underground area with Lady Dracula's gold and diamonds too. You'll notice it's glowing, so does that mean her spell worked? You'll hear a baby crying, confirming that her son was indeed created. Next, you'll head down to the misty forest where you'll eventually be met with a cutscene with a woman screaming. Then, it skips ahead to the castle 20 years later, and you'll meet her son, who is now fully grown up. I loved the touch of having the painting of his mom on the wall, Lady Dracula, as well as an empty dark castle. From here, you'll be able to make your way down to the town once again and feast on those poor souls below. Overall, this was a fun, spooky toy box with a great atmosphere, spot-on visuals, and a twist on gameplay elements that are viewed from the perspective of the Draculas themselves. I loved it. Superb job on this, Bowtie Guy. Last but certainly not least, Lion HD brings us his For All Time Always toy box inspired by Marvel's Loki television show. In this toy box, Loki has become the sovereign leader of the villain's authority. Now, he defeated the former ruler, Time, so it's had its consequences because the multiverse is splitting wide open and other dimensions and variants are coming to challenge Loki. But all of them have failed, except for one special wizard variant. As you begin this beautiful toy box, you'll notice a huge explosion and a ship full of enemies that you must battle. Now, the enemies and visuals on this toy box are stunning. It truly looks like an area ripped straight from the show. As Loki continues to fend off enemies, you'll notice portals opening all around you. This can only mean one thing: more Loki variants. And as they continue to do battle with you, you will dispose of them, with some even trying to sit on your throne. Come on now. Now, I love the visuals here, and the portals opening up around you is such a creative and nice storytelling element that works perfectly. As you continue to run around the toy box, you'll notice a ton of verticality to it too, which is really, really well designed. Eventually, after defeating the variants, you'll be met with this beautiful cutscene of a crashed ship and altar, which you now must make your way towards. Once you're there, make sure to jump inside the portal at the altar and you'll be transported to a new place. A Halloween-themed town awaits you as you make your way throughout. You'll come across more variants who want to celebrate your arrival, but don't get too comfortable. A new portal opens up, and now you'll have another battle with multiple enemies. It's always fun to battle stuff in Infinity, and this was a pretty cool section to watch play out with all the Halloween-themed pumpkins sprinkled throughout. Defeat them all, and jump through another portal, this time taking you to an Aladdin-themed area with a giant snake. This means trouble, but for now, we're teased with this as a wild finale. Lion HD continues to impress us all with his creativity and unique toy boxes, which are so inspiring. What a toy box. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Lion HD for once again organizing this entire event, as well as all the creators shown throughout the video. They continue to keep this game alive with their dedication, creativity, and passion. Lastly, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel because the community is coming back together again for another annual Christmas event. So, I'll be covering all the amazing Disney Infinity content that will no doubt come from that. Buckle up. So, Infiniteers, what were some of your favorite toy boxes shown? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for all the latest Disney Infinity news and content.